For the first time in the history of the Indian Premier League, digital rights of the league has sold for more than the TV rights. Joining me today is Karan Taurani, an industry expert who's, of course, tracked the IPL media rights auction very closely. And today we'll mostly be talking about Viacom 18's decision to spend almost 24,000 crore on the acquisition of the digital rights of the Indian Premier League. First of all, we just have to start with the one question everybody has. Karan, who do you think got the better, pulled off the better deal in this auction? Was it Star or, Viacom 18?
I think if you look at the cost of rights, I think from a better deal perspective, I think it is Star who has clinched a better deal here. Because what we are assuming is that, for the TV rights, the numbers are around almost 3.5 to 4,000 crores already as we speak. And given the number of matches, we believe that the break-even for the TV rights will happen from the second year onwards. But as far as the digital rights are concerned, I think we have come at a sharp premium. And in terms of revenue stream right now, in terms of IPL as a property, only 22% of the IPL revenue comes from digital. So I think there's a long way to go for digital. Of course, the growth rates are phenomenally high for digital. There is a potential scale over there which is not there for TV. The TV growth rates are much more mature in nature. But in terms of break even, I think the digital part will be delayed towards the fourth year.
Okay, I'm going to do a few numbers. I hope I get these right. Right now, Viacom 18 bought package B first for 20,500 crore. It basically meant they got rights for 410 IPL matches across the next 5 seasons, right? And after that, when package C was sold, which comprised just 18 matches from each season, including some important matches like evening weekend games or the final or the opener, that was also for digital rights. And then Viacom again bid for that, and they paid another 3,257 crore for that. So basically, they again bought rights for 98 matches in the digital rights for 98 matches in the Indian subcontinent that they had already bought earlier for a much higher sum. So the only way to justify this is basically monopoly, right?
Yeah, I think it was very important for them to buy the rights of that 18 match cluster because typically these 18 matches are ones which have got a very high viewership number. So if you look at the number of viewers for these 18 matches, it could somewhere be almost 30 to 40% higher versus the other normal matches which are there. So I think it made all the more sense to pay any price and probably just get under your kitty because you have got the big the digital rights under your shoulder, and you will probably have to monetize. If you have to monetize the entire digital property in a better way, it is very important to get all the matches on exclusive basis because once it goes to some other platform on non-exclusive basis, there is a big cannibalization in terms of the ad revenue. So I think that's the reason they paid a very hefty price for it. And basis because of that, their overall content cost has gone up phenomenally. In fact, if you look at this on a per match basis, digital has kind of surpassed TV by a small margin. But as I told you, the monetization opportunity on digital is still unexplored. I think there's still some time in terms of the numbers to scale up from here on.
I think you sort of answered my question in your previous statements, but let me just ask you point blank. Do you think Viacom 18 will manage to break even and earn back everything that they spent? Because I remember the first conversation we had yesterday after they just bought package B, you said you were expecting 100% escalation from the base price, right? And then they went and bought package C for another 3,000 crore. So do you actually see them being able to recoup their costs? Because it is, after all, just a 5-year contract, right?
Yeah, as I said, I don't think the cost will be they'll be able to kind of get a big profitability number on this digital right front because I think the break even will only happen in the fourth year. But in the fourth and the fifth year, I think the gross margin for this digital segment will probably reach towards the 25% mark because of the incremental growth. But if you look at it, from a geo standpoint or from a Viacom standpoint, I think it's more strategic in nature. I think digital as a segment is one where you don't have to really beg for profitability. The market in India is highly fragmented. You have too many OTT platforms. It's very tough to compete in this kind of a market with the right content. And IPL as a property is very compelling nature of content and will lead to a big jump in terms of the user base, whether you call it monthly active users or daily active users for any platform. And it will also probably lead to subscriber retention if IPL were to stream on Geo platform as well. So my point is that, this is more strategic in nature, wherein I don't think profit is something which they're looking at, but they're looking at more in terms of, driving eyeballs to the platform which in turn will lead to a better market share for the platform in this highly fragmented segment, and also lead to better valuations for the platform.
Where do you see a lot of the revenue coming in from? I mean, where do you see the earnings coming in from? Will it just be from subscriptions or like ads?
So if you look at the numbers in the digital media segment, typically right now the market is driven by awards. So if you look at the IPL numbers right now in terms of Hotstar, I mean, assuming that close to 60% of their subscription revenue today is coming because of IPL. The revenue split is roughly 50-50. And my sense is that both the segments of OTT, whether advertising or subscription, both have a potential to grow in the range of 30-35% in the next 5 years. So I think both are triggers which are equal in terms of nature and size, and both have a potential to grow in this underpenetrated market like India.
Karan, do you think a choice like that, this is going to be something that they'll have to make if it goes on Voot or if it goes on Jio TV, or is it just something already decided in their contracts as to where they're going to, maybe broadcast it?
I mean, I don't know in terms of which platform this would go at, but all I know is that this can go to only one single platform now and not both the platforms. I think the plan would be, to put it onto Voot, and maybe Jio can, offer their subscribers a bundle plan, which will kind of lead to higher ARPU, and which will give you Voot subscription free, something of that sort.
Okay, last question. Just going to my Uday Shankar point again. Uday Shankar, of course, we know is one of the men behind the Viacom 18 conglomerate. But again, Uday Shankar also was part of Star when they got the IPL's rights many years back. So, obviously there's been a lot of thinking in this. You've also referred to this earlier, but, could this just be like a springboard as such for the whole Viacom 18 to get into the digital space, just get the eyeballs in, like we've seen with Hotstar, right? I don't think Hotstar has too much other offerings as far as, just a platform as such goes. But because of IPL, everybody knows what Hotstar is. Is that what, Jio is possibly wanting to become through the IPL?
Definitely. So if you look at a platform like Voot, I mean, they are very small. If you look at their subscription revenue, it is very small as compared to other players because they started Voot Select very late. As far as award revenue is concerned, they only have a 2-2.5% market share in the award market as compared to other broadcast OTTs, which are somewhere close to 4-5%, right? So I think cricket is, in a way, is going to be a very compelling content, which will kind of drive a big user base on Voot. If you look at Voot, their MAU numbers are closer towards 70 to 80 million, whereas something like Disney Plus MAU numbers in India are close to 300 million plus, right? So I think this entire shift is going to happen in terms of users and MAU, and that will actually drive ad spend, for the platform. So in a way, I think it's a very big delta for Voot, and it will actually be a comeback, for Viacom in the digital segment, which is the fastest growing segment in the country today.
Okay, thank you so much, Karan. Karan, thank you so much for taking time out to speak to us.